Among the skyscrapers, speeding bullet trains, and dazzling city lights of modern China, there still exists an ancient world hidden in the shadows, where stone, clay, and legend have recorded stories no book has ever written. Ruins like the old summer palace, once a symbol of Qing dynasty beauty and power, now remain as scars of a golden age destroyed. In the darkness of Guhurua Caves, strange carvings whisper untold stories, while the terracotta army silently guards the tomb of Emperor Qin Shi Huang for thousands of years. These mysteries are only the tip of a colossal historical iceberg, where long-lost civilizations lie buried beneath layers of ancient sediment, waiting to be awakened. Join us on this journey, for some truths cannot be seen with the eyes, but only revealed to those brave enough to hear the call of the past. The Great Wall has a total length of over 13,000 miles, making it the longest defensive structure built by humans. Construction started in the 7th century BC and expanded through many dynasties, especially during the Qin and Ming periods. The wall is about 25 feet high and 30 feet wide, built from tamped earth, stone, and bricks, forming a connected defense system. Thousands of watchtowers are spaced every few hundred feet and used smoke or fire signals during battles. A legend tells of a woman named Meng Jiang who cried until a section of the wall collapsed, symbolizing the people's sacrifice. For more than 2,000 years, the wall served both military defense and political power for ancient rulers. In 1987, UNESCO declared it a World Heritage Site, and today it attracts millions of tourists as a global historical symbol. Zhangjiajie is located at an average elevation of about 3,300 feet and features over 3,000 sandstone pillars formed by vertical erosion over millions of years. These stone columns rise straight up between clouds and forests, creating a one-of-a-kind vertical landscape. Some columns resemble humans or sacred animals and are believed by locals to hold spiritual energy and are used as worship sites. A legend says this land was once home to mountain gods, and each high peak is the spirit of an immortal being. Although science explains their shape as erosion, the fact that thousands of columns stand strong for so long remains a mystery. Jang Dangia is one of the few places in the world with geological wonders, spiritual meaning, and world-class engineering. Guhurua Caves were built on steep cliffs about 330 feet high, with over 170 caves carved deeply into the limestone. The caves are connected by paths and include windows, water channels, and air vents in a smart layout. There are no signs of religion, making the site more like a hidden living area or a mountain fortress. Legends say the caves were shelters for ancient people who wanted to avoid war and may have watched the sky from here. No one knows who built these caves or why, making them one of China's biggest archaeological mysteries. The building method is amazing because all caves were cut into hard rock with flat walls and strong hallways that still stand today. The Terracotta Army is one of the most famous archaeological wonders in the world, with over 8,000 underground statues of soldiers and horses. Each statue has a unique face, outfit, and posture, showing advanced craftsmanship and organized construction. Originally, all the statues were painted in bright colors, but the paint faded quickly after touching air. Many real weapons were once placed with the army and stayed sharp for over 2,000 years thanks to special anti-rust techniques. High levels of mercury underground support the idea that the main tomb has rivers of mercury to copy a paradise-like world. The full site has not been fully uncovered because current technology may not protect the artifacts well enough. Hanging Temple is a unique structure over 1400 years old, built on a cliff at a height of about 246 feet. The entire temple is supported by more than 30 wooden beams, deeply inserted into the rock, each as thick as a small tree and able to hold hundreds of tons. The structure does not use any iron nails, but relies on ancient wooden joints. The temple stretches nearly 200 feet, with corridors and bridges hanging in the air, forming a connected system on the cliff. Some walkways are only about 12 inches wide and closely pressed to the rock, making access very risky. Inside, there are more than 40 small rooms and statues from many dynasties, some placed at the edge and protected from weather damage. This is one of the rare structures that combine Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism in one sacred place. Dao Ancient City was built on a tear-shaped plateau surrounded on three sides by deep river valleys that provided natural defense. The entire site was constructed using compacted earth without bricks or stone, yet much of it still stands after over 600 years of abandonment. Its streets, temples, and housing areas were laid out along a clear north-south axis, divided into zones similar to modern urban planning. A legend says this place was chosen by gods as a center of protection in the desert, and people believe ancestral spirits still remain here. Rituals for honoring ancestors and seeking peace were once held here, showing that ancient residents practiced a polytheistic belief system. Some underground structures and water channels remain unexplained, suggesting their building knowledge went beyond what we currently understand. Fujian Tulu is the world's largest cluster of earthen buildings, built in mountain forests with terrain about 2,600 feet high and humid weather all year. Each structure is around 60 feet tall and up to 230 feet wide, able to house hundreds of people in a closed layout. Many Tulu have no records of their construction time, but remain almost intact after hundreds of years. Some scholars believe they were once knowledge centers or ritual sites linked to a highly organized group that disappeared. Their strong defenses and community structure show a sustainable and self-contained social model. Fujian Tulu is not only about architecture, but also a key to understanding ancient social systems and beliefs in East Asia. The Eratu site is about 3,800 years old and is believed to be the earliest center of power in Chinese history, possibly linked to the legendary Jia dynasty. It is located on a fertile plain with rivers nearby, making it ideal for farming and early urban development. Archaeologists found palace foundations built with rammed earth, set along a central axis and divided into areas like housing, roads, and workshops. One special feature is the largest bronze-making zone of the early Bronze Age, along with jade pieces, colored pottery, and detailed stone tools. Legend says Eratu might have been the capital of King Yu, known for flood control and starting hereditary rule. One major mystery is why such a well-organized and skilled civilization disappeared without leaving behind written documents. Longmen Grottos, also known as Longmen Caves, is one of the largest and most important stone carving complexes in China. With over 100,000 Buddha statues, it represents the strong development of Buddhist sculpture art through the ages. The Buddha statues here are highly detailed, carved into limestone, and reflect various artistic styles from different dynasties. Longmen Grottos also stands out with over 2,300 caves and more than 4,000 reliefs, including religious images and valuable stone paintings. These artworks show a delicate combination of Buddhist influences from India and traditional Chinese art. Some of the large Buddha statues here can reach heights of up to 56 feet, making a strong impression on visitors and researchers. Although damaged during wars, Longmen Grottos still retains its priceless artistic and historical beauty. Xiangling Mausoleum is the burial place of Wu Zetian and Emperor Gaozong, built deep into a mountain over 3,400 feet high to protect against disasters and grave robbers. The entire tomb has never been opened and remains intact after more than 1,300 years, making it one of the most mysterious ancient structures still standing. One special feature is a blank stone tablet in front of Wu Zetian's tomb, which still causes debate about its true meaning and purpose. Building such a large and complex tomb on a high mountain remains a major topic of research in modern archaeology. Yushu was the last capital of the Shang dynasty and gives the first archaeological proof that this ancient kingdom really existed in Chinese history. About 300 characters on these bones still cannot be translated today, raising questions about lost knowledge. Bronze and jade artifacts have complex patterns that experts still cannot fully decode, showing a rich symbol system. The real reason for the fall of the Shang dynasty is still unknown, with theories about war, natural disasters, or internal crisis. Some skeletons showed signs of being buried alive or cut for sacrifice rituals, proving how serious the practices were. Hanyang Mausoleum is the tomb of Emperor Jing of Han, built over 2,000 years ago and known for its small clay figurines that clearly show the social structure of the Western Han period. More than 4,000 figures were found, representing soldiers, officials, women, livestock, and workers, with an average height of about 24 inches. This is one of the rare tombs that presents a complete picture of ancient life through detailed and diverse clay models. The Bano Site is a Neolithic settlement that dates back about 6,000 years and belonged to the Yangshao culture. It was home to an early farming community with clearly organized village layouts, including houses, pottery workshops, and burial zones. They built houses from packed earth, some round and some square, with central pits used for fire. The landscape has cracked red soil and excavation pits almost 10 feet deep, revealing layers of ancient history. The Leshan Giant Buddha is the tallest stone Buddha in the world, with a height of about 233 feet, and took nearly 90 years to finish, since it started in the year 713. The statue was carved into a red rock cliff with a smart design that includes an underground drainage system to stop erosion for thousands of years. Each toe is about 26 feet long, and the foot can hold more than 100 people at the same time, showing its huge scale. When it was built, the rock that was removed slowed down a nearby river flow, which helped to reduce flooding. The statue's body leads lightning into the ground using its stone base without needing modern equipment. Even after more than 1,000 years, parts like the eyes, ears, and folds in the robe are still clear, showing great skill in ancient engineering. Xiangling Dwi is a famous archaeological site in Sichuan, where thousands of bronze, gold, and jade artifacts were buried for over 3,000 years. Some gold masks found here weigh nearly 1 pound, possibly the largest ever discovered in Chinese archaeology. The bronze statues can be as tall as 8 feet, with bulging eyes, long ears, and outstretched hands as if holding something invisible. Experts believe this civilization was not linked to the Shang or Zhou dynasties, but followed a completely different belief system. The bronze casting techniques here were advanced with detailed and complex mold designs that were rare in that period. Certain gold masks were cut in half while still in the pit, leading to theories about ritual destruction after use. Some scholars even suggest that the big eyes and long ears might be linked to symbols beyond Earth. Fujian is an ancient riverside town with over 1,300 years of history, located within a dense river network where water and homes form a special layout. The houses are lined along both sides of canals, made of wood with black tile roofs, long corridors, and curved stone bridges linking different areas. Locals built houses with foundations close to or over the water, making it easy for boat travel and flood control. The stone bridges were built with traditional dry stone methods, using locking stones instead of cement, lasting for hundreds of years. According to legend, Fujian's water never dries up because of a hidden dragon vein that flows from a sacred lake, called a heaven-given water eye. Even though the buildings show many dynastic features, there is no exact record of when the town was founded, so its origin remains unknown. Researchers believe it was once a trade or religious center that slowly changed over time. Pingyao Ancient City is one of the few cities in China that still keeps its full structure from the Ming Dynasty, with walls about 3 miles long and nearly 40 feet high. The city was carefully planned with 6 main gates, stone-paved streets, wooden houses with curved roofs, and a layout based on traditional feng shui principles. According to legend, the city was built in the shape of a turtle, with the main gate as the head, 4 side gates as legs, and the back gate as the tail, symbolizing long life and protection. Buildings in the city used rammed earth, baked bricks, and carved wood to make strong and weather-resistant structures. Even after centuries and many changes, the city has remained almost unchanged, leading researchers to believe that strong ancient rules and systems helped preserve it. The balanced design combining building techniques and belief systems makes Pingyao a model example of a well-preserved ancient city in Eastern civilization. The ancient Dujang Yan was built around the 3rd century before the Common Era, and is the oldest hydraulic system still working today, able to control water by season without using large dams. The system is located between mountains and flatlands where floods used to happen often, and the method of cut water, split water, and guide water was a brilliant solution of the past. The materials used were stone, bamboo, and sand combined by ancient methods that still remain strong after more than 2,200 years. According to legend, Li Bing and his son designed and built the system and were later honored by locals as river gods. The whole structure not only managed floods, but also kept fertile soil for farming and protected a large downstream area. Modern experts still cannot fully explain the precise natural operation of this ancient system. Mount Imei is about 70 feet high, with landscapes that change from tropical rainforests at the foot to pine forests and clouds at the peak. It is one of the 4 sacred Buddhist mountains in China, and is famous for the legend of Bodhisattva Samantabhadra riding a white elephant to save all beings. There are dozens of ancient temples built in difficult-to-reach spots, with strong wooden structures and solid foundations that have lasted for centuries. Stone steps leading up the mountain are arranged cleverly by natural slope, guiding pilgrims to sacred spots at the top. The worship of Bodhisattva Samantabhadra has lasted for over 1,000 years, attracting millions of pilgrims each year for prayers and worship. Although famous as a Buddhist center, this place is also connected to many legends and mysteries that have not been fully explained. Lugu Lake is about 800 feet above sea level and is one of the highest freshwater lakes in China that remains untouched. The lake water has a deep blue color and is clear enough to see the bottom in many places. It covers about 20 square miles and has an average depth of about 150 feet, getting water mostly from rain and underground sources. There are no modern drainage systems around the lake, so the water quality stays nearly unpolluted. Layers of ancient pollen have been found in the lake's sediment, helping scientists study the region's old climate. The water stays around 46 degrees Fahrenheit all year, but rare fish species still live there. Many parts around the lake have not been fully mapped by geologists, and some believe there are caves and hidden flows underground. Yushu Village sits at over 6,500 feet above sea level, surrounded by forested mountains and cool air that makes the area suitable for both living and rituals. Its clear stream flows through many layers of natural rock, offering both scenic beauty and deep spiritual meaning for the people who live nearby. The village structures are made entirely from local wood, using traditional mortise techniques without nails, yet they stay strong and durable through many generations. Seasonal ceremonies like rain prayers and harvest thanks continue today, showing how water spirit worship has survived for many generations. The original purpose of the village remains unknown, as many ancient symbols carved into stones have not yet been fully understood. A water system made of stone channels and bamboo pipes still works today, thanks to exact slope calculations done by ancient builders. Foxian Lake is about 5,600 feet above sea level, over 20 miles long, and nearly 500 feet deep, making it one of China's deepest freshwater lakes. In the early 21st century, divers found a huge stone structure under the lake about 130 feet deep. This structure includes stone steps, walls, and foundations made of large rocks over 10 feet long, placed precisely without any glue. Some of the stones have symbols like hieroglyphs, which led experts to think of an unknown ancient civilization. Local legends say a kingdom once stood here, but sank into the lake after a mysterious disaster. Some local people claim to have seen strange lights coming from the bottom of the lake at night. All of this makes Foxian Lake one of the most fascinating archaeological mysteries in China. Yellow Mountain has over 70 granite peaks, many of them higher than 3,300 feet, located in a humid zone that creates cloud seas and misty pine forests year-round. Special pine trees grow twisted from steep cliffs, and large stones shaped like people, animals, or dragons appear naturally from erosion. A long stair path was carved directly into the cliffs, with tens of thousands of stone steps moved and placed fully by hand. On mountain peaks over 5,000 feet high, ancient temples and pavilions were built, using stone and wood carried by people through dangerous paths. Legend says, this was the place where the mythical Yellow Emperor made immortal medicine, and many people still visit for spiritual practice. Some strange things like echoing in clouds, stones balanced oddly, and pine trees growing from cracks still have no clear scientific explanation. The mix of nature, culture, and human effort makes Yellow Mountain one of the most unique granite mountain heritage sites in Asia. The Jang Dangia landform was formed more than 24 million years ago and spreads across an area of over 190 square miles. Its mountains reach heights between about 1,000 feet and 1,300 feet, shaped by strong tectonic activity and long-term natural erosion. What makes this place special is the colorful rock layers of red, orange, yellow, and white arranged in clearly separated lines. When sunlight hits the surface in the early morning or late afternoon, the colors shift clearly depending on the angle of the light. A local legend says the colorful mountains were once a magical robe from the sky, and people believe this land is protected by gods. Modern science still cannot fully explain why the color patterns are so even and bright across such a large area. Some scientists think this may be caused by unknown mineral activity that has not yet been discovered or studied in detail. Canis Lake is located in a high mountain area of Xinjiang and is one of the most spectacular lakes in China, with a depth of about 620 feet and an area close to 18 square miles. The lake's surface changes color by season, sometimes appearing turquoise and other times silver gray or deep green, depending on sunlight and weather. For decades, locals and visitors have reported seeing a strange creature over 30 feet long, moving under the water and causing large waves, but no scientific proof has been found. Some researchers believe an ancient civilization may have existed around the lake, based on carved stones and unknown patterns found nearby. However, many parts of the lake are restricted, and both geological and archaeological studies are strictly limited, so these theories cannot yet be confirmed. Canis Lake is not only an important natural site, but also a place full of unanswered questions about history and possible hidden remains underground. Guhurua Glacier is located at about 18,000 feet high and is one of the few glaciers in Tibet that visitors can approach from a very close distance. The ice surface clearly shows crystal blocks, grooves, and thick snow layers built up over thousands of years, reflecting sunlight with shifting white and blue tones. Local people believe Corolla is the physical form of a snow god and hold rituals there to ask for peace and good harvests. The glacier's melting is being closely studied by scientists because it gives key data on global climate change. There are no buildings on the ice, but weather stations and viewing points around the glacier are specially designed to handle strong wind and low temperatures. Corolla is a rare destination where traditional beliefs and modern science exist together on ice that is thousands of years old. Fenghuang Ancient Town is over 300 years old, with old wooden houses built along the river, many supported by wooden stilts, about 20 feet long. Some wood samples used in the houses are over 500 years old, which is rare for traditional residential structures. The wooden architecture uses no nails and relies on ancient mortise and tenon joinery to stay strong in humid conditions. Old city walls over 30 feet high are made entirely of hand-stacked stones and connect to stone roads from the Ming dynasty. The river's water level changes very little throughout the year, which helps protect the foundations of stilt houses. Traditional construction techniques and a stable climate have helped the town stay nearly unchanged for hundreds of years. Qinghai Lake is about 1,500 feet above sea level and is the largest inland lake in China with a surface area of over 1,700 square miles. This lake is an important stop for millions of migratory birds every year, creating a lively ecosystem in a dry region. Its blue surface freezes completely in winter, while in summer, yellow flowers bloom around the surrounding grasslands. Although it is a natural lake, its stable water level in dry conditions still confuses scientists, with theories about ancient underground water channels. The lake bottom has strange sediment layers that may prove strong climate shifts or geological activity thousands of years ago. Satellite monitoring and conservation systems are used to protect and maintain the rare ecosystem of the lake. The Ming tombs are the burial site of 13 emperors from the Ming dynasty, built based on ancient feng shui in a valley surrounded by mountains. All tombs face the same direction, showing a deliberate layout connected to imperial power. Only one tomb was fully excavated, belonging to Emperor Wanli, and its contents caused debates for decades. Some tombs have underground chambers as deep as 90 feet, made from large green stones fitted tightly without cement. Secret air tunnels were found underground to preserve the bodies for centuries. Stone statues guarding the tombs have proportions that modern technology cannot duplicate. After the tombs were built, hundreds of workers were executed to protect the tomb entrances. These tombs were not only burial places, but also symbols of political hierarchy and each emperor's position in the dynasty. Peking Man Site is where fossils of Homo erectus, known as Peking Man, were found and dated to about 7,000 years ago. This area stands out with limestone cave systems containing geological layers that are over 2 million years old. One of the biggest mysteries is that all original fossils of Peking Man disappeared in 1941 during World War II and were never recovered. Studies show early humans here knew how to use fire. With ash layers over 400 years old found in ancient soil. Sharp stone tools found here had carefully crafted edges, showing they had advanced tool-making skills. Several fossil skulls were found with break marks, possibly linked to early cases of cannibalism. Fossils of extinct animals found here help recreate the ancient ecosystem. The old summer palace was built on an area of over 1 square mile, with lakes, artificial streams, and man-made hills. It was a symbol of Qing dynasty architecture, combining traditional Chinese building techniques with some European-style stone buildings. The palace used an advanced water system to move water from lakes into canals, streams, and artificial waterfalls. Folk legends say the site store ancient astronomy tools used for watching stars and predicting royal events. The biggest mystery is the 1860 destruction, when the whole palace was burned, and thousands of relics disappeared without a trace. Some believe underground tunnels still hide many unrecovered artifacts. Its buildings were made from rare wood and marble, using joinery techniques without metal nails that lasted for centuries. The Pingyao site is an ancient city about 4,000 years old, built on rocky hills in a semi-desert area with a high point for defense and long-distance views. The site covers around 1.6 square miles and is surrounded by layered stone walls, strong gates, and massive stair systems. The building technique used large stones mixed with compacted earth and included carved stone drains, showing high-level construction skills of the ancient community. Fujian Temple holds the finger bone relic of the Buddha, which is seen as the most sacred Buddhist treasure in China. The temple sits on flat land near low hills, facing the plains and backed by mountains, creating a peaceful and balanced spiritual setting. In 1987, a hidden underground chamber about 40 feet deep was discovered beneath the ancient pagoda, containing over 2,000 valuable items such as gold statues, jade, and Buddhist relics. Fujian Temple is not only a place of worship, but also one of the most important Buddhist heritage preservation sites still standing today. The Xiangling Pyramid is the tomb of Emperor Wu of Han, built as a square pyramid about 150 feet tall, blending with the surrounding dry hills. It is one of the largest ancient tombs in China, with construction lasting more than 50 years and much larger than others of its time. Xiangling clearly shows the power, thinking, and construction skills of the Han dynasty, and may reveal long-buried historical secrets. The Pingyao site is one of the earliest Neolithic cultures in China, dating back about 7,000 years. People here grew millet, raised animals, made pottery, and used polished stone tools with great skill. They also buried the dead with care, dividing graves by gender and placing special items, showing a structured society with early beliefs. It is surprising that they reached such a level of development without clear signs of contact with other civilizations. Even though they were stable for a long time, The culture vanished without a direct line of continuation. Much of the site is still unexcavated, and research is limited by weather, funding, and administrative rules. Shaolin Temple was built in the 5th century on a mountain slope with high ground, surrounded by thick forests and steep cliffs for protection. It is known as the origin of Shaolin martial arts, with more than 1,500 years of history linked to meditation and training. Legend says, Bodhidharma came and meditated in a cave for 9 years, then taught exercises to help monks stay strong and healthy. Shaolin monks once used their skills to protect the temple during times of war, showing their fighting ability was real and practiced. Inside the temple are more than 200 stone towers, each about 23 feet tall, built without glue or cement, and still standing for centuries. The temple walls are hand-carved with Buddhist texts, showing high skill in ancient carving and art. The Jinsha site was discovered in 2001 when workers found ancient items while digging for construction. The site is about 3,000 years old and was the center of an ancient civilization. One special object is a golden sun with a human face and flying birds made from very thin, pure gold. Nearly 400 other gold items were also found, including masks, jewelry, and animal figures with fine details. The black soil layers are almost 10 feet deep and contain ashes, bones, and burnt objects, showing large fire rituals. Some jade bracelets are as clear as glass even though they are over 3,000 years old. No writing has been found, so the origin of this culture is still unknown. Mount Emi is over 100,000 feet tall and has ecosystems ranging from subtropical forests to snowy areas all year, creating a rare natural scene seen as a symbol of harmony between earth and sky. The Buddha light phenomenon, where sunlight passes through fog to form a glowing circle around a person's shadow, is often viewed as a spiritual sign that modern science still cannot fully explain. Historically, this place was a major Buddhist center, with many monasteries and stone statues, but several were destroyed by war or landslides, leading to the unclear disappearance of valuable cultural assets. Some ancient records describe a network of hidden tunnels and underground structures beneath the mountain, but most areas remain off-limits, and these features cannot yet be confirmed. Mount Eme is recorded as the first site in China to worship Bodhisattva Samantabhadra, with temple systems built since the 1st century. Dao Ancient City is one of the rare ancient cities in China that still keeps its original square layout, with each side about 1 mile long. Some of the old city walls still have black burn marks and cuts that may come from wars in the 13th century. The old water system was smartly designed to use gravity and still works in some places today without needing any pumps. Many large wooden pillars in ancient houses are more than 600 years old and still strong without needing modern support materials. The stone roads show deep wear from footsteps over many centuries, with some stones visibly dented in the center. Some houses were built using a wood jointing method without nails, and they remain standing even after many earthquakes. Fenju Bridge is about 196 feet long and is a structure that combines ancient construction skills with practical functions that still remain until today. The bridge is built using wood and stone without iron nails, and all joints are connected using traditional mortise techniques that keep the structure strong for centuries. Some of the pillars are placed directly on natural rocks under the river, without deep foundations, showing precise use of the terrain during construction. Several wooden beams on the bridge are carved with guardian figures, showing traditional beliefs in the design of old architecture. The roofed part of the bridge was once used for farming rituals or local gatherings, showing the cultural role of the structure through many generations. Even after many floods and minor earthquakes, the bridge still keeps its full structure and roof, proving the durability and precision of ancient techniques. The Liangzhu site is over 5,000 years old and is seen as proof of an early state with strong power and religious control in East Asia. It is located on fertile lowlands with rivers and swamps around, which supported rice farming and long-term settlement. The site includes city walls over 4 miles long, a central platform, and many water channels, showing high skill in planning and water control. Thousands of jade items like Kong tubes, masks, and pillars with strange carvings were found, showing beliefs in gods and social ranking. Experts believe it may have been the capital of a theocratic kingdom that disappeared before writing was invented. The reason for its fall is still unknown and might be linked to climate change or natural disasters that damaged flood control systems. The use of rammed earth, wooden stakes, and stone for levees shows the oldest water control system known in East Asia. Xitang is located in a river plain area with natural and man-made canals that shaped its water-based town system for many centuries. Old houses beside canals, arched stone bridges, and covered corridors hundreds of feet long are rare architectural features still preserved today. Many buildings have complex structures, but no clear records of their builders, original purposes, or reasons for lasting so long. The corridor layout along the river, connected to homes and trade space, shows advanced planning, but its original meaning remains unclear. Some suggest Xitang was once part of a larger trade network, but the remaining parts have disappeared or were erased from official history. Although it is now well known, deeper research is limited because people still live there and the site is under strict conservation rules. Its greatest value is the ability to maintain a sustainable riverside urban model that blended daily life, trade, and architecture for hundreds of years. Mount Putuo rises alone in the sea as a green island with forests, cliffs, and long sandy beaches, forming a symbolic landscape where the mountain meets ocean. There are over 80 temples and hundreds of old Buddha statues here, but most have no clear records of their dates, builders, or original uses. Many legends about Guanyin Bodhisattva and the mountain's sacred nature have lasted for thousands of years, yet no unified texts explain its origins. The mountain's buildings show signs of being buried and rebuilt many times, breaking the development chain and making dating difficult. Still, Mount Putuo is one of China's 4 great Buddhist mountains, with historical, cultural, and religious value lasting over 1,000 years without interruption. The ancient villages of Yuan are in a mountain area about 1,600 feet high, surrounded by valleys, forests, and long terraced fields that form a unique, isolated ecosystem. The area has hundreds of old houses from the Ming and Qing dynasties, but most have no records about who built them, how they were made, or planned. Many family lines have records lasting dozens of generations, but the exact time of settlement is unknown and not written in official history. Some experts believe the area was once a refuge or a hidden education center during political unrest, but that was removed from historical records. There are traces of old libraries and schools, but only foundations and oral stories remain today. Small irrigation systems used for farming have stopped working, making it hard to study the past infrastructure. Still, Wuyuan's greatest value is how it has preserved community life, traditional buildings, and historical memory for hundreds of years without being interrupted. The Fujian Grottos are a group of over 30 man-made caves carved directly into a cliff, each with a depth of about 30 to 60 feet, and no signs of religion. The ceilings are perfectly flat, and the walls are smooth and square without marks of rough tools or carvings. The grottos are in a hard-to-reach area surrounded by forest and a large river, making it ideal for secret activities or ancient rituals. Hongchun is an ancient village with a water channel system nearly 1 mile long running through the community, planned centuries ago in the shape of a dragon bone for feng shui. The houses follow typical Huizhou architecture, with black tile roofs, white walls, inner courtyards, and finely carved wooden doors, some over 300 years old and still intact. The village's water system not only supplies daily use, but also helps control temperature and prevent fires. Legend says the village founders invited a feng shui master to choose the location based on the flow of water and the direction of mountains. Even without old planning maps, the layout clearly shows knowledge of wind, sunlight, and water flow. The narrow stone paths, curved bridges, and half-moon-shaped pond are arranged in harmony with homes, reflected clearly in the water. Technically, the homes were built on stone bases, with thick white brick walls, clay tile roofs, and an underground canal system that runs under each house. Shidi has over 120 old houses from the 14th to 19th century, built in courtyard style with white walls, black tile roofs, carved wooden doors, and closed inner yards. The stone paths connect house clusters, with arch gates, pavilions, and ponds arranged in a linked layout that fits with nature. According to legend, the village was shaped like the Chinese word for longevity and chosen by a feng shui master for its strong dragon vein. The mystery is that even without old maps, the whole village was built in a planned way, with working drainage and underground water systems for centuries. The houses use stone bases, fired brick walls, clay tile roofs, and large wooden frames with sky wells for light and airflow. Even in the mountains, the building methods kept homes dry and safe from long-term damage. This shows advanced social planning, building skill, and environmental knowledge of the past. Fujian Ancient City sits at a strategic location between flat plains and higher land, surrounded by rivers, making it ideal for defense and trade. The city wall is over 4 miles long and about 30 feet high, built with rammed earth mixed with stone and brick, and still has its moat today. The full layout is rectangular, with gates, towers, and watch platforms placed evenly, showing classic military planning. Legend says this land gathers natural energy and was once used for sky worship rituals by ancient dynasties. Inside the city, remains of homes, offices, and streets are still visible, showing ancient city life and social planning. The Bano Site is one of the earliest pieces of evidence of a stratified society in ancient China, dating back about 4,300 years. Archaeologists discovered a large burial area and palace ruins covering about 108,000 square feet, showing signs of centralized political power. The use of thick rammed earth walls, advanced pottery techniques, and large-scale labor organization reflect a society with clear structure and technical skills. The Longmen Grottos are a large group of stone caves with over 250 chambers and more than 51,000 Buddha statues carved into sandstone since the 5th century. The largest statue is about 55 feet tall, while many smaller ones are only a few inches, showing the ancient skill in detailed carving. The caves are placed to match sunlight and feng shui, helping protect the statues from harsh weather for over 1,500 years. Some still keep their original colors because the paint was made from natural minerals mixed with animal glue. The site honors Buddhism, and records say rulers of the Northern Wei dynasty started it to unite people and show royal power. The carvings were made using only iron tools without any electricity or machines, creating strong, multi-level spaces and roofs from solid stone. Yingxian wooden pagoda is the tallest wooden structure in the world, still standing, with a height of about 220 feet and no iron nails used in its frame. It has 5 outer levels and 4 hidden levels, made from over 3,000 wood pieces, joined using traditional mortise and tenon techniques. The highest level contains a wooden Buddha statue about 35 feet tall in the center, helping to balance the structure's weight. The pagoda has lasted nearly 1,000 years and survived at least 7 major earthquakes without serious cracking. This is a rare structure that has stayed strong for centuries without major repairs. Yinchi Temple is a religious site over 1,000 years old, located where mountain and natural spring water meet, surrounded by ancient trees. There are many cypress and camphor trees that are thousands of years old, acting as living witnesses of the past. The temple is known for its curved roofs and wooden joints built without nails, showing old construction skills. One mystery is how clay statues from the Song dynasty still keep their shapes, colors, and fine details after hundreds of years. There is still no clear answer to how heavy materials were moved to high and sloped ground without machines. Some areas of the temple were closed off for years without clear reason, raising questions about their true function. Although not linked to a fallen civilization, the temple proves a long history of folk belief, philosophy, and old Chinese art. Guhurua Caves are located at the edge of the Gobi Desert in a sandstone mountain area with dry weather and strong winds that helped preserve them for over 1,000 years. This site includes more than 700 caves carved directly into the rock cliffs, with thousands of wall paintings and Buddha statues dating back to the 4th century. Many of the statues are made from straw-mixed clay, and some reach up to about 100 feet tall, showing advanced, large-scale sculpting from ancient times. Construction required deep knowledge of soft rock behavior, accurate wooden frame supports, and special anti-collapse techniques for long-term structural safety. Yuan Pass is located on the edge of a dry plateau where desert and grassland meet, creating a harsh but striking natural setting. This site once served as a vital gateway on the ancient Silk Road, where traders and envoys traveled to connect with lands far to the west. One legend says envoys performed sky worship ceremonies here before crossing the border, showing the site's deep spiritual role in ancient traditions. Badan Jaran Desert has the tallest sand dunes in the world, with some reaching about 1,600 feet, forming huge walls of sand across the desert. Surprisingly, over 100 lakes exist here, with both fresh and salty water, fed by underground sources more than 1,000 feet deep, not rivers or rain. Many lakes change color from deep blue to red, depending on the season, likely due to rare chemical reactions beneath the surface. Strong desert winds moving across the dunes create a sound that lasts up to 15 seconds and can be heard more than 1 mile away. Survey teams have reported compasses spinning near certain lakes, causing temporary disorientation, possibly due to unknown magnetic or geological forces. Even though this area is remote, low-frequency sound waves have sometimes been detected at night, and their origin is still unknown. Jiyuguan Fortress was built in the 14th century as the western end of the Great Wall, with 3 main defense layers, including inner city, outer city, and deep moat. The fort is located between dry desert and rocky mountains, and its layout fits the natural terrain with a design error said to be under 1 inch. A special feature is the internal ceramic tube system inside the walls, which let guards communicate without leaving their positions. The outer wall was made by mixing rubble, clay, and organic material to increase its ability to absorb strong impact forces. Many original parts of the fortress, such as iron gates, wooden beams, and watchtowers, have survived for over 600 years without major restoration. At night, wind passing through tower gaps creates echoing howls, which were described in old documents as a unique sound of the fortress. The Taklamakan Desert is one of the most dangerous sand regions on Earth, with huge size and shifting terrain caused by strong winds. Sand dunes here can reach up to 980 feet and move several feet each day, making direction hard to determine without modern tools. In summer, surface temperatures can go beyond 158 degrees, hot enough to burn skin in just a few seconds of direct contact. The sand creates strange sounds lasting many seconds when strong winds blow, a rare event known as singing sand. Some natural mummies still have hair and skin after more than 3,500 years, preserved by dry air and salty climate. Heavenly Lake is located at an altitude of about 6,200 feet and is surrounded by snow-covered mountains all year. Its clear blue water is seen as a natural symbol of harmony between mountain forests, highland climate, and rare freshwater sources. For centuries, the lake has been known for legends about a strange creature over 30 feet long, swimming fast and creating large waves. Many people have claimed to see it, but no scientific study has confirmed the creature's existence. Some scholars believe ancient humans once lived around the lake, though no clear remains of their settlements or social structure have been found. Several nearby zones have not yet been fully surveyed, and historical records related to this area remain unpublished. Even with its unanswered questions, Heavenly Lake still holds great historical and cultural importance, long associated with traditional spiritual practices. The Bezeklik Caves were carved deep into steep sandstone cliffs at around 300 feet high, located in a dry area with constant strong winds. There are more than 70 caves that were once an ancient Buddhist center along a key trade route, with hundreds of murals showing rituals, daily life, and deities. The colors in the paintings have stayed clear, thanks to a technique using natural minerals mixed with strong organic binders that resist fading over time. According to legend, this site was chosen for meditation because people believed it held sacred energy that could help connect with the divine realm. Some modern researchers think the caves were used for monk training and large ceremonies, although no ancient texts have clearly confirmed this theory. All construction was done by hand, with domes, support pillars, and smooth plaster, carefully applied to hold wall paintings for centuries. The Potala Palace was built on a rocky mountain at about 100 feet high, where the air is thin, winds are strong, and the climate is dry and cold all year. This structure has over 1,000 rooms, with walls up to 16 feet thick, made of stone, wood, and compressed earth that resist earthquakes and temperature changes. The white parts for living quarters and red parts for religious use show a clear separation between secular and spiritual areas in ancient design. According to legend, this site was chosen by a god who pointed to it as a place where heaven and earth energy gather. The palace later became the official residence of High Lamas and a center of both political and religious power for centuries. Modern scholars still debate whether the original purpose of Potala was a military fortress or a powerful monastery. Namtso Lake is one of the highest saltwater lakes in the world, at about 15,400 feet above sea level, where low oxygen forces some visitors to use oxygen tanks. Although it is a salt lake, its entire surface can freeze in winter with ice thicker than 3 feet, strong enough to support people and equipment moving across. During nighttime, temperatures around the lake can fall below -20 degrees, even in summer, creating a serious risk of cold shock without proper preparation. Magnetic surveys have detected irregular fields at the lake's center, causing compasses to shift as much as 15 degrees for several hours. Some large ice sheets on the lake have been observed rotating slowly in circular motion when exposed to light winds, a rare phenomenon in saltwater environments. Along the shoreline are many rocks with symmetrical shapes that appear machine-cut but are entirely natural in origin, formed through slow geological processes. Several rock samples near the lake also show weak magnetic properties and are able to attract small metal objects despite not being true magnets. Drak Yerpa is built into limestone cliffs at more than 13,000 feet, standing out among cold highland landscapes and deep valleys. The cave complex and monastery are carved into the mountainside, with many small chambers used for meditation by famous Tibetan spiritual teachers. What makes Drak Yerpa mysterious are legends about monks who disappeared while meditating in the caves and secret tunnels that remain undiscovered. Some areas of the cave system are still unexplored because of steep terrain and strict preservation rules. There are theories that a closed religious community once lived here, but no clear signs of social structure have survived. Although many questions remain, Drak Yerpa holds an important place in Tibetan Buddhist history as one of the oldest meditation centers still standing. Kumbha Monastery is a Tibetan Buddhist center built in the 16th century and is famous for being the only place that preserves yak butter sculpture art. The monastery sits at about 8,900 feet above sea level, where the dry, thin air helps preserve butter and wood artwork for hundreds of years. Inside the grounds are more than 70 halls, each serving a function such as worship, chanting, studying, or storing ancient scriptures. One of the main highlights is a wooden Buddha statue, about 49 feet tall, placed in the center as the spiritual axis of the whole monastery. Large murals inside cover up to 150 square feet and are painted using only natural minerals for long-lasting color. Monks here usually begin training at age 7 and spend over 20 years learning to reach the highest rank. The entire layout follows a three-dimensional mandala design that represents the Buddhist view of the universe. Kaiping Diaolu is a group of old towers built in the early 20th century with Western styles like Roman Gothic and Baroque, mixed with Chinese elements. The towers are about 49 feet tall on average and were designed for defense with iron doors, gun holes, and watch decks to stop robbers. Many towers still have full furniture inside, but no residents, making people wonder why the old communities disappeared so quickly. Research is difficult because some buildings are locked or located on private land, and construction records are mostly missing. Researchers believe overseas Chinese brought back new building ideas and used them to create these towers in their homeland. Pingyao clearly shows the cultural exchange between China and the West during the early part of the last century. More than 1,800 towers were built, but now only around 180 are well preserved and officially recognized as a World Heritage Site. Guhurua Temple is one of the oldest Buddhist temples in southern China and was built more than 1,500 years ago. The temple is located between ancient trees and low mountains, making it quiet and almost separated from the outside world. One mystery is that the body of Huineng, the founder of Chinese Chan Buddhism, is still whole after more than 1,200 years and kept in a tower. Many wooden and bronze statues inside the temple still look the same after centuries, even in a humid environment. Some scholars believe the temple once held rare ancient texts, but most of them disappeared during war and reform periods. Research is hard because many areas of the temple are closed and photos or documents are not allowed. Even so, Guhurua Temple is still known as a major Buddhist center and an important historical site in China. Xiangling Island is known for its beach, about 12 miles long, clear water, and untouched coastal ecosystem. Many natural rock formations are shaped by ocean waves, creating rare and special landscapes. There are large stone blocks arranged without mortar in symmetrical patterns, but with no record of when or why they were built. Some experts believe this might be the remains of an old civilization because no historical records mention these structures. Mystery increases because these stone areas are often covered by sand and access is restricted for erosion or military reasons. Archaeological research is limited due to lack of data and hard digging conditions caused by shifting terrain. Still, many archaeologists believe Xiangling Island holds important clues to a lost past along China's southern coast. Guhurua Island is less than 1 square mile in size, separated offshore, and does not allow motor vehicles, making it a rare, quiet ecological area. The island's terrain mixes granite rocks, fine sand beaches, and low hills, helping it resist the humid subtropical coastal climate. The island stands out with many European-style mansions mixed with traditional Chinese buildings and religious structures. A legend says the sound of waves hitting rocks sounds like drums and was used by a sea god to protect the people. Most buildings on the island use local materials and traditional methods like thick walls, low roofs, and natural rainwater drainage. Yuanling Tomb is a blend of classical urban planning, East-West heritage, and sustainable living with nature. Furong Cave is a limestone cave system with stalagmites and stalactites reaching about 100 feet high, formed over millions of years through slow mineral buildup. The total area of the cave covers tens of thousands of square feet, with many layers and branches forming a maze-like structure. Strange carvings and shapes have been found on the rock walls inside the cave, and no one knows if they are natural or man-made. Some researchers believe the cave may have been a shelter or a ritual space for an ancient group unknown in historical records. There is a theory that the symbols and markings are connected to a lost civilization not fully recorded in history. Furong Cave is not only a geological wonder, but also may hold clues to an unexplored part of human history hidden underground. The Nanyue King Mausoleum was found deep underground in a rocky area with complex natural terrain that helped protect it over time. The tomb has a unique underground design, and over 750 artifacts were discovered, including jade, gold, ceramics, and Southeast Asian-style items. Although the king is known in history, many features of the tomb show a higher level of ritual than what records describe. Some parts of the site are still unexcavated, and published findings are very limited, leading to ideas of hidden information. The presence of non-Chinese style objects suggests the tomb may be linked to a wider cultural network. This tomb is not just a burial site, but an important clue for understanding a complex and connected ancient world. The Li River is about 100 miles long and flows through a limestone area with karst terrain and hundreds of tower-shaped peaks and underground caves not fully explored. The river water stays jade green all year, creating a mirror-like scene between the mountains and the sky. Some parts of the river may connect to underground caves, and tidal effects far inland are still unexplained. Along the river, ancient builders created stone steps, docks, and retaining walls without mortar to stop erosion and support farming. Many of these old structures still work today and show advanced building methods adapted to nature. The Li River is more than just a river. It is a long-standing symbol of culture and spiritual belief. Guhurua Ancient City is located in the northern border zone where forests, rivers, and plains form a diverse landscape with year-round harsh weather. It once served as a key trade and military center that controlled water routes and linked inland regions. Artifacts found here show signs of many cultures, mixing ancient Chinese styles with northern tribes and Eurasian influence. However, parts of its history are missing because some time periods have no written records. The ancient city is proof of a complex historical era and served as a vital link between China and the greater Eurasian continent. The Changbai mountain tombs are built on high slopes at about 8,200 feet above sea level, surrounded by ancient forests and volcanic terrain. The tombs were made using large stones stacked without mortar, placed precisely in harsh weather conditions. Some tombs face the sunrise during the winter solstice, showing ancient knowledge of astronomy. The tombs reflect a deep link between royal power, early astronomy, and ancient spiritual beliefs. The Neo-Heliang site is about 5,500 years old and is located on red sandstone hills with high ground suitable for ancient ceremonies. The area has stone structures arranged in square and circular shapes, with long corridors placed precisely along the east-west axis. The most notable feature is the goddess statues with human faces and dragon bodies, considered the earliest known symbols of matriarchal worship in Asia. Some researchers believe the site may be linked to early astronomy because its layout points to sunrise and sunset directions. This place was not a living area, but a religious and ceremonial center designed with purpose. The Genghis Khan Mausoleum is located in a vast grassland with a dry climate and an average elevation of about 3,600 feet, stretching flat to the horizon. It is not the real burial site, but a memorial built in the shape of traditional round tents with domes and patterns symbolizing heaven and earth. A legend says that after Genghis Khan died, his body was hidden, and the real grave location has never been revealed. All the people involved in the burial were removed to keep the secret completely hidden. Many large-scale searches have been done, but no clear result has ever been found, making it one of East Asia's biggest historical mysteries. The memorial site now uses modern materials, but keeps the traditional layout with lighting and preservation technology to serve visitors and protect its sacred meaning. Xiangling Valley ranges from about 1,300 feet to over 10,500 feet in elevation and has a nearly untouched ancient forest ecosystem. It is home to rare animals and plants, including some species that are not found anywhere else in the world. Some believe it was once the center of a lost civilization, but no clear excavation has confirmed this theory. There are reports of a creature like a wild man being seen, but no solid proof has ever been found. Although it has great research value, strict protection rules limit scientific studies, leading to suspicions of hidden facts. According to legends, this valley is linked to Shenong, the ancient figure who taught people how to farm and use herbs for healing. Longmen Caves is a group of man-made caves discovered in 1992, with over 24 large chambers carved deep into hard rock that do not connect to each other. Each cave is about 100 feet deep, 60 feet wide, and 30 feet high, and they are designed like large rooms with clear layouts. The walls, ceilings, and columns are covered with matching diagonal carvings, showing high skill and careful construction. No historical records mention the caves, and no artifacts, bones, or signs of daily life have ever been found inside. Experts still do not know why the caves were built, though some believe they were used to hide treasures, serve as secret temples, or hold lost rituals. Until now, Longmen Caves remains one of the biggest unsolved archaeological mysteries. Yangshan Quarry features a single stone block estimated to weigh over 35 million pounds, shaped as the base of an ancient monument. The construction suddenly stopped without official records explaining why, leading to theories about a vanished dynasty or advanced civilization. Moving such a massive stone is considered impossible, even with modern machines today. Experts believe the site was chosen for a national symbol, but the project was cancelled due to political or technical reasons. Research on the quarry has long been restricted, with few excavations allowed, leaving many ancient methods and purposes unknown. quarry holds not just archaeological value, but it also preserves traces of a time when construction techniques briefly reached amazing heights and then vanished.